I'll just read one. Uh, just going into why a certain that or Satan. I just want to say, just to put it blanket, why Satan is fearful uprising of the children of Israel.
Mm.
I'm going to read this real quick in relation to that in the book of Judith, the 5th chapter and the 15th verse. And at any point, you can come in and elaborate.
Okay.
And I'll end it here. It says, so they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, speaking of our forefathers, and this is someone of another nation. This is a Gentile speaking in reference to the nation of Israel. And they destroyed by their strength all them of Esebon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Pherezite, the Jebusite, and the Sychemite, and the Gergesites, and dwelt in that country many days. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. So the nations know that if we don't sin, if we keep God's commandments, the Most High prospers us. He protects us. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider this shall be their ruin.
Come on.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. Last verse. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
So what is it? What is it the Gentiles understand? Huh? That they could only use, abuse, and destroy us if we are breaking the laws contained in the book. Because why? They've had the history, their own history, of them opposing our forefathers and being destroyed without hand when we were under the hedge of God. So they say, leave them alone if they're following the law. Okay, because why? It's a no-win scenario. Their God fights for them. So this is why the nations have set up a society of what? Wickedness and reprobate activity, and have incentivized that in our communities. So the Bible tells us their conspiracy, how they think about us. Okay. Now, the reason they're focusing on us breaking the law is because it gives them access to our children. When we sin, our children is a product of the curse. So it becomes a generational curse where their children rule ours. But if we're without sin and repent for our sins and come under the law, the heavens fight before us. So even when the nations try to do certain things against us, the Most High destroys them, even without us even knowing. He'll kill people. He'll do all types of stuff to people who are conspiring against us without us even knowing, if we're under God's law. The Gentiles understand this. Now, was it prophesied? Because let me tell you, he's not the first rabbi I heard say this. I had many conversations with rabbis. Some went better than others. And they'll tell you straight out, yeah, we know you the Jew, we know you're Israel, but our problem is you not accepting us. Right? When guess what? I'm going to tell you, they know. We lost our history. They didn't lose our history. Okay? But right now, what? a lot of the nations, Esau in particular, those who are in power, they're in a paranoid state at this point. They're afraid because in their mind, they believe our people are going to do against them what they did to us. So that's the big pushback. What happens when these people realize that we've been lying to them since they hit the shores? But I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this to white people, Jewish people, whoever may be looking at this outside of Israel. Our fight isn't with you. We fought against, our fight started when we started sinning against our God. And our arms were too short to fight. We don't have no problem with you. Okay? Our problem is the sin that's within our nation. Because once we resolve that, our God will fight for us. The white man isn't going to be a problem. No one will be a problem because what? We as a people are loving people. We are loving people, and above all, we'll be a light to all of you. A light to the Gentiles. We are a light to let you know you don't have to live in a world of sin, in a world of paranoia, conflict, racism, and hatred. You don't have to live like that. And you're not going to force me to be like that, because that's what I don't like about nation. That's what we always grew distaste of. I will never lower myself to the hatred of the other nations. Okay? That means the other nations won. If we are degraded to the levels they would go to just for power. We as a people, as the tribe of Judah, is better than that. We're better than that. Okay? We are a loving people. And the prophecies cannot be fulfilled unless we stand up. And even Amalek knows this. The other nations know that. And guess what? All white people don't hate black people. All Jewish people don't hate black people. It's about truth, brothers and sisters. How am I going to blame the other nations for not telling the truth when we were the people born in the earth to bring it? Tell me the truth. You don't have to tell me nothing, because it was upon us to be the light to the world. You can expect lies coming from everyone else outside of the people of the law. Elder Lawyer, let's get Jeremiah 16 and 19. Grab that for me.
Yes, sir.
See, that's why another thing, we don't have to take surveys and all that, because we're not paranoid. We're not afraid of losing anything. And, oh my God, suppose they find out. Let me find out what black people are thinking about us, or Palestine, or this, that, and the other. No, they're gauging prophecy. Because why? I went into it last Sunday. There's a prophecy that the elder will serve the younger. And once Christ bring the power, the prophecy of that power back to this earth, starting with Judah, no nation will rise above us again. And that's not me being proud. That's not me saying I'm better than anyone. That's prophecy. We've been on the bottom forever. But we weren't prophesied to stay here. And they know it. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold on to as much power as they can, knowing the prophecy of Judah. Jeremiah 16 and 19, read it.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19.
Come on.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
They shall say what?
Surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Surely our fathers have inherited lies. Folks, let me tell you, we charted Esau from Listen, from the first day he was separated from Jacob up until the Roman Empire last Sunday. We know when they went into Italy and set a throne there, a gateway to Satan. And it's in their records. Zepho is the key. The original Italian. Okay? We track them all the way to present time. Even the conversion. They want everyone to focus on the Khazarian conversion during the Crusades, when the greatest conversion of Europeans, or what you would call white people, Idumeans, was during the time of Hycratus. Okay? And once that conversion happened, you had white people now being Jews through conversion, who spawned who? Antipater, the Antipater family, and who? Herod the Greek, who they claim is Herod the Great, the first Edomite governor over Judea during the time of Christ's birth. That's right. So they want us to look at Khazaria. Even Khazars, they're not from Japheth. They're not from Europe. They're not from Japheth. They're from Esau. When you look at Khazaria, it tell you that the Khazarians was set up by the Basilians in the 2nd century AD. The Basilians was from St. Basil of the Catholic Church. So it was the Catholic Church that went into Turkey that created the Khazars. Okay? So you're looking at the Khazarian conversion saying they were Japhetic people. No, the Basilians came in and created the cause. It's in the Jewish Encyclopedia. So a lot of our people are learning backward. You're learning the lies and trying to confirm, when you have to go back to the Bible and look at the bloodlines of Esau and track them from the Bible backward to our time, not looking at the history with half truths for confirmation bias. See? Now, everything I'm saying, I can speak freely with a rabbi and they'll agree 100% privately because it's in their records. There's just an oath amongst them not to speak these things to those who are lost. Because those of truth seek truth and will find it. That's that weird way of them saying, listen, I don't have to tell you if you're lost. If you were about truth, you would find what I know. That's why it's not about them trying to keep things away and all. No, it's about, listen, the Most High is bringing information, truth, wisdom regularly, and he abradeth not. The Most High is streaming truth from the heavens, but we choose ignorance. So the rabbis that say, listen, hey, I know you, the Israelites. I know who you are. But if you choose to stay lost, I'm not going to cast this to swines. Because that statement that Christ made, guess right. Believe it or not, that's a Jewish saying. So that's why they're keeping it hid, because the truth is in front of us, and yet we, out of all people who need the truth, refuses it. Let's read it again. Jeremiah 16 and 19, once more.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah 16, verse number 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Now the Gentiles are coming full circle and saying, and they are admitting it now. Surely we were lied to, and it's not going to benefit us, because the people we need to change everything are are asleep. It's not going to